Welcome back. We're wrapping up our discussion on Canada and U.S. trade, especially in light of the threat of a potential 25% tariff imposed by the United States on Canadian exports. My goodness, that would have broad implications indeed. Joining me, Tony Clement again, and Dr. Andreas Schotter. Dr. Schotter, when we understand, obviously, due to the geographical proximity of the United States and Canada, that we have a very natural and abundant trade relationship. But let's think about broader geopolitical context on this. How do the emerging trade dynamics occur when we have more of a protectionist United States, and how does it influence, say, for example, with China and what is their economic influence, and how does that impact Canada's trade strategy, especially at the negotiating table?
Yeah, I've mentioned this before, not on this show, but a lot of parts and components that end up in American products coming from Canada. So there's an indirect effect on us if there's less of a trade activity between US and China, for sure. And then secondly, the US is at the moment losing a bit the global trade race because of the Chinese-led state government or central government-led campaign for business support, right? So this is right now, it's an unfair situation. If you look at free trade, we are reversing from a free trade world to a much more nationalistic world right now, and we need to be prepared for that one. The window of opportunity has closed a lot for us in regions where China is dominant right now, and our partners feeling that, and other partners in the US-led world, like Germany, for example, feeling this absolutely, right? And I don't know what we can do much about it. We need to double down on our US relationship in the way, and then build new relationship with, for example, the United Kingdom, a lot much stronger, tangible ones, and with the European Union, which is in trouble right now. But even since CETA, where I gave Chrystia Freeland a lot of kudos at the time, but not much cheese has been moved since this agreement has been signed. And this is the failure of the current government, right? So the materialization of these agreements has not happened. We need to have tangible results when it comes to these international agreements.
Tony, I want you to offer your 2 cents on what the geopolitical context of Canada's trade position, basically, going forward.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything that Andreas has said on this. I would say that Canada has missed a whole lot of opportunities over the last few years to expand trade, and also to dovetail with the emerging American consensus, bipartisan consensus, I might add, in the US about China being the biggest threat economically, politically, militarily. And it's very clear that Donald Trump, as president, is going to continue to put China on the hot seat when it comes to military trade, diplomatic, and political. And that also raises an opportunity for us. And we have to, I think, understand where America is coming from, wanting to protect its economy from the Chinese storm. And I think that's where we can be helpful to America and to our allies. And we're not making that. We're not really making that commitment because the current government is anti-gas and oil and anti-manufacturing in a lot of ways, and they're on their green plan. But if it isn't part of the green plan, they don't want to hear about it. And I think that's very short-sighted of them.
Well, especially when there's such a hunger for Canadian energy, and it's clean energy, cleaner than at least stuff coming out of other developing nations. So, Tony, we only have about 45 seconds or so as we wrap up. There's a trepidation out there. How does Canada really safeguard our economic interests while, of course, maintaining a stable diplomatic relationship with the United States? It's a very delicate balance.
Yeah, and it's going to take more than talk, Tanya. I think the time of talk is over. I think we're going to need, as Andreas said, a new government after an election. And they're going to have to act rather than just talk when it comes to the Arctic, when it comes to NATO, when it comes to oil and gas. These are our trump cards, to pardon the pun. But I think that we can really put those to good use and illustrate that we can be a great ally and partner to mutual benefit, not just Americans' benefit, but to Canadians' benefit as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you both so much for joining me. There was a good, robust discussion, and we'll have to have you on again as things develop. Thank you.